All right, people. So welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to UPSC Prelims Phoenix batch. And today is day one. And you all know those who have enrolled with us. Well, today we are going to start with economics. But today I'm going to give you a brief introduction as to how you should approach this subject. Okay. We'll be finishing the entire syllabus of economics in the next 12 days. Okay. Along with so many MCQs, 2 tests. And well, economics is a technical subject, right? So you're bound to have some doubts. Ask those doubts in the WhatsApp groups. Okay, we have enrolled you in our special WhatsApp groups. Well, ask those doubts over there. Clear? Simple. Now, in this introductory lecture, I'm going to explain to you the entire schedule. Though the schedule is already shared with you, but I'm going to basically give you the approach as far as economics is concerned, because economics for many people is a little technical, is a little complicated. Therefore, we would try to make it as easy as possible. Okay, as easy as possible so that you garner all the information, you gather all the information, plus conceptually you are also sound, so that even if there is a conceptual question with respect to economics in your prelims examination, you are well prepared. Just remember this. If you'll follow these next 14 days, okay, I'm going to give you the schedule for next 14 days. For the next 14 days, focus on economics. So if you are going to follow this schedule for the next 14 days, well, as far as economics is concerned, don't worry about it as far as prelims examination is concerned. Okay, so follow this schedule to its very core. By the way, if there is any problem, any issue, well, you have me to fall back on. Okay, so use me judiciously. All right, use our entire platform, Jumbo IS platform, judiciously, properly, because you are going to be very strong in economics if you follow this properly. Okay, so do that. All right, so let's begin. So yeah, this is economics. We are going to talk about economics, and I am going to give you the schedule for next 14 days, including today. So today is day one, and I'll share it with you. Day one is introduction. Okay. And from then onwards, well, 14 days, you'll have 12 lectures, and 2 days, 2 Sundays would be reserved for tests. Tests are extremely important. Okay. You all know about this. Well, MCQs are also extremely important. Okay. Separate MCQs plus MCQs in test format are very important. They are crucial for your prelims preparation, because no matter how much knowledge you have, if you have not practiced enough MCQs, first of all, you will tend to forget that knowledge. And second of all, you would commit silly mistakes in your exam. And let me break this to you. Well, silly mistakes actually break your heart, because you knew the answer to that question, but you didn't mark the right option. And that really breaks your heart, especially when you don't clear the cutoff for prelims, right? So that is why we will make sure that you commit zero silly mistakes. And the only possible solution for that is practice enough MCQs. So in the entire Phoenix batch, you will be practicing more than 7,000 plus MCQs. Plus you are going to do 3 revisions of the entire syllabus. And all of this in the next 90 days. Okay. Now let me share the schedule for next 14 days with you. Okay. So this is your economics schedule. Let me change the color of the pen. Okay. So this is economics. All right. Next 14-day schedule. Day one, as I discussed before, belongs to introductory lecture. And as I have mentioned this before also, okay, all of this, the entire syllabus for economics is divided into 11 parts. Why am I saying 11? Well, because there are 2 Sundays for weekly test. Okay, day 7 and day 14, right? These are 2 Sundays. There are 2 Sundays for this, and lecture number 1, which is today, is introductory. So the entire syllabus is divided into 11 parts, and every day you will cover 1 part each. Okay, along with 1 part each, we'll be covering 30 plus MCQs. Now, why have I written plus? Well, because the MCQs can be more than 30 as well, depending on the topic or the importance of the topic. Plus, apart from these 30 MCQs, we will also give you some PYQs, because we all know the importance of PYQs, right? So this would be there. You have to do this each and every day. By the way, 1 day prior to these MCQs, we will give you the notes for a particular part. So for example, day 2, just a second. So for example, day 2 is basics of microeconomics, national income accounting, which means GDP and all, and economic development, economic growth and development. So the notes for these would be provided to you today itself, between 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. Take the entire day, as far as tomorrow is concerned, revising these notes. Okay, you can rely on our notes. If you have your own separate notes, well and good. but you can rely on our notes. If you're not satisfied with your own notes, you can rely completely on our notes. You don't have to look anywhere else as far as economics is concerned. Okay, so revise the entire day. Revise these 3 topics for the entire day, and then in the evening at around 7 p.m. we will discuss whatever complicated stuff was there in these notes through a lecture, which will discuss 30 plus MCQs. Because not only we are going to have a discussion on the concepts covered in this lecture, we are also going to try to apply those concepts in these MCQs. Okay, then after watching this lecture, again tomorrow at 9 p.m. you will get notes for inflation, money and monetary policy. Revise them, and then day after tomorrow we'll be discussing it with 30 plus MCQs. So day 2 would be these topics, day 3 would be this, day 4 would be banking and financial sector, very critical topic. So we might go more than 30 plus MCQs. Day 5 is fiscal policy, government budgeting, okay, all of these things, and taxation system. And day 6 is external sector plus some miscellaneous concepts. For example, incremental capital output ratio. There are certain miscellaneous concepts on which questions can be asked. So this would be covered. And then on Sunday, this would be till Saturday. And then on this Sunday, we'll take the entire day to revise the entire week. And then at 7 p.m. sharp, give a test from these topics. Okay. Then from next Monday onwards, we would cover Indian agriculture and food processing sector. The notes would be given to you in advance. Industrial sector infrastructure, poverty, employment, inclusive growth, economic planning, international organizations, and some miscellaneous concepts. And the last 2 days are reserved for budget and economic survey. Okay, budget and economic survey, since both these documents are important, because most of it is all about government initiatives, government schemes, which are part of your syllabus. So we'll be covering this. And on next to next Sunday, okay, you will have a full test of economics, which will cover not only this week, the previous week as well. Make sense? Now, all this while you will be practicing 30 MCQs on a daily basis as far as economics is concerned, because you should know this, that you'll be practicing a total of 50 MCQs, 30 from economics and 20 from current affairs, right? So all of this would be covered, okay? And just follow it properly. Now, a few things that I want from you. While you are following all of this, a few things that I want from you. Look, I'm guessing that there are not many first-timers, but there might be some people who have studied for UPSC. They're not first-timers, but they somehow omitted economics, or they left economics for later times, right? Now, for you people, it might get a little challenging. And also, it might be challenging for those people who have covered economics beforehand, okay? Or they have read economics or the syllabus for economics at least once. It might be challenging for you, okay? Now, let me break this to you. While reading these notes for the entire day, you are bound to encounter some doubts, okay? You're bound to encounter them. Now, let me break this to you. No matter how silly your doubt is, you have to ask it. We are here to help you out. We don't want that you go into the exam without being prepared, okay? We don't want that there is some conceptual irregularity in your understanding and you give the exam. Because in economics, UPSC is now focused more on conceptual clarity rather than basic trivia. Yes, basic facts. They are moving away from basic facts and towards conceptual clarity. And the past year was very dynamic as far as economics is concerned, international economics is concerned. So there are bound to be many questions. Okay, 20 MCQs can be from economics, but more than 15 MCQs would be from economics. So you have to master this subject somehow. So while reading the notes, you might encounter some doubts. You're bound to have those doubts. There is some problem, you didn't understand any concept or anything. Just post your doubts in the WhatsApp groups. They are created for you only. Use them properly. Okay? So in these WhatsApp groups, just post your doubt. By the way, if I feel that this particular doubt would require a detailed explanation, I would cater to that in the lecture itself. That would come at 7 p.m. But if I feel that this doubt can be easily answered through a text message, then we will reply to you very soon in the WhatsApp groups only, right? So that is why, no matter how I say this every time, no matter how silly your doubt is, it might appear silly to you, but it might not be silly at all. And who cares whether it's silly or not? It is a doubt for you. clear it. Okay? Plus, all the other candidates might also benefit from your doubt. Yes? So please post these doubts. By the way, very soon we are going to have a Google Meet also. So all your queries, well, address them to me. I'll be happy to answer all of them. Okay? But this part, WhatsApp groups, well, they are specially for you. So that is why cover it properly. Okay? Or use it properly. That is a better approach. Make sense? Okay? So read the notes properly. Each and every word of the note, each and every word of this document is very important because we have tried to create, well, crisp notes. Okay? Irrelevant information won't be covered in these notes. So these notes are crisp, very important. Each and every word is important, since the first few lectures of economics would be, well, let's put it this way, they would be a little difficult. Okay? Let me show this. So the first week is going to be very challenging. The second week is not going to be that challenging. Let me break this to you, okay? But that doesn't mean that you take second week lightly, okay? Don't take any week lightly. But first week is going to be challenging because in the first week, we are mostly going to cover macroeconomics. And macroeconomics is more conceptually dense. It requires a lot of conceptual clarity. So if you somehow manage first week, second week would be cakewalk for you. It would be very easy for you, right? So make sure you give me your 100%, like full attention, 200% attention in the first week. Again, that doesn't mean that you will give your 50% attention in the second week. Second week is also important. These topics are important. But first week would require a lot of your neurons. Okay, so that is why this is extremely important. Make sure you cover this properly and use the WhatsApp groups properly. Okay, now one more thing. I told you that we are going to give you the lecture at 7 p.m. sharp. Okay, but the thing is, all of you have different schedules. Okay, some of you are working professionals, some of you are college going students, okay, in your final year. Some of you are preparing for UPSC full-time, or some of you have different engagements. And even if you're preparing for UPSC full-time, well, you might have a different study schedule. So the lecture would be uploaded at 7 p.m. sharp. You can watch it anytime. Okay? Just make sure that you cover that day's targets. You cover daily targets on that day itself. Whether you watch the lecture at 10 p.m., 11 p.m. or next morning. Okay? Till next morning it is permissible. Okay? But cover the targets on a daily basis. Daily targets, this entire timetable was created for a reason. Okay? This entire timetable, well, I'm not boasting, I'm not being pompous, but this timetable has been intelligently designed. So because it has been designed very carefully, follow it properly. Okay? You can use your own brain. I'm not saying that don't use your own brain or don't adjust this timetable as per your needs. That is permissible. But try to finish all these targets on that day itself. It might be a little challenging in the beginning. Okay, but trust me on this. It would become really easy for you to follow all these targets if you persist. Okay, if you make this Phoenix badge a habit of yours. Okay, and again, trust me, it will be really beneficial for you. By the end of these 90 days, you'll be really confident. All right. So this is how we are going to go about certain things. Okay, so 7 p.m. Yes, you have to follow your daily targets. Lecture would be on 7 p.m. at 7 p.m. But you can adjust as per your schedule. Just make sure you follow all the daily targets. Yes, and yes, the notes for these MCQs. Okay, so first of all, you will get the notes for this particular lecture one day prior. But the MCQs, the PDF file of these MCQs would be uploaded before 7 p.m. only, so that you can take a look with detailed solutions. So don't worry about that. Okay, but follow this timetable. And in case you have any questions, well, you are in these WhatsApp groups, ask these questions to me. Okay, so with that, we will conclude today's introduction. Today's lecture was a very short one, very crisp one, but that doesn't mean the upcoming schedule is going to be this easy. Today was the first day. We are taking things lightly, but then things would get a little tough. So brace yourself, be prepared. And in case you have any problem, approach us, fall back on us. All right? Make sense? Okay then. All the best, everyone. This is a very tough yet very important 90-day journey. Follow it properly. I'm repeating it again and again. Follow it properly. All right. See you with tomorrow's class. Thank you, everyone.